calling from a 443 area code. Who's this?
Hey, Sam. This is Anthony from Baltimore.
Hi, Anthony. What's on your mind?
I've called a couple of times, and the last time I called, I made a joke, and this time I wanted to offer something a little bit more serious and substantive.
Okay.
So last year, I attended a conference at the University of Baltimore, which was hosted by the Baltimore Neighborhood Indicators Alliance, which I believe is a subgroup within the Public Policy Center at UB.
Okay.
And so I attended a few symposia, and one of the symposia was about crime in Baltimore neighborhoods and the factors related to crime. In this study, they measured crime by amount of money spent on policing and incarcerations, which from a methodological standpoint is arguably problematic.
Yeah, I would say the first thing that occurs to me is that's problematic because if the issue is over response, I don't know how you measure that, but go ahead.
Right. It's really difficult to measure crime, and it's reported crime in neighborhoods like that get policed more, and it's just fundamentally flawed. But anyway, they looked at which neighborhoods had the most quote-unquote crime from this measure, and the neighborhood Sandtown had the most crime, which on an unrelated note is the neighborhood where Freddie Gray was from. But the strongest correlate of crime that they found was the amount of concentrated lead in the blood of children, which I think is just goes to a larger point that there's a fundamental problem in how we try to conceptualize reducing crime and making these neighborhoods better. And the general notion is that more police equals less crime, and I think we need to use a model that doesn't ignore prenatal care, biology, psychological and social factors, and think about a more holistic way to make neighborhoods like this better.
Well, we've interviewed, we've talked about the lead phenomena multiple times in this program. I interviewed Kevin Drum a couple of years ago on this very topic. And can you send me a link to that, if there's a link to that data point? Because and I appreciate the phone call. Send us a link at majorityreporters@gmail.com. Let me just add this point. I'm going to let you go and just add this point. Thank you. That's fascinating, because when Eddie Glaude talks about the value gap, right, you can see it play out in a place like Flint or in Baltimore or really anywhere. The crap spewing stuff, the lack of regulation, the lack of maintaining regulation, all of these things are dumped in poor and black neighborhoods because they have a lack of political power to prevent them. And all of that, the fact that they have a lack of political power, feeds into the value gap. The value gap itself feeds into the lack of political power. The idea that, like, well, lead's got to go somewhere, or the power station's got to go somewhere. We'll put it in that neighborhood is also part of the value gap. And it has cascading implications. That lead poisoning is one of them. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.